Hopefully we're live as usual. I'll give it a couple of seconds, minute or two before we get cracking with what's going to be a lot of fun today. This is unfortunately the last webinar that I'll be able to do for a while because I've got lots of my own chess commitments coming up. So, I'll try to make it a good one today. Let's hope. Are we broadcasting? Something's happening. Good stuff. So I'll say my hello again. If you missed the start, do refresh now the page. Let me just put that in the chat box. Okay, so make sure everyone's tuned in. So I was just saying, I've done 3 webinars now for iChess on their channel here. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been great fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. And unfortunately, for the time being, this is going to be the last one. Just because I've got 2 tournaments coming up. In a couple of days, I'm off to Scotland, and I'm playing in a 150-year anniversary tournament. And then I've got the British Chess Championships after that. So as well as basically, talking about chess and working on chess, I still try to play a bit as well, So hello to everyone in the chat. Well, we'll get going. It's going to be a lot of fun today, mainly fun. I've got loads of puzzles I'm going to ask you guys. So I really want to get you involved with the show. It's up to you guys to try and solve some of the puzzles today and really get you involved in the chat as well. Boom, Chris. We have this saying, whenever a good move is played, you can play along at home. We've got to say, boom, because this is our chess philosophy, to play big boom moves. Chris, thank you very much for buying my course. And another reason I'm obviously doing this this lecture is I am selling a course, and it's the last day today. I think it's the last 5 hours now, where you can buy the iChess course for 50% off. I say iChess course, it's a course I made. It's 16 hours long, and it took me a long time to make and prepare. And of course, I want to publicize that as well. I mean, it makes sense. It helps me do free lectures like this. If I can get some cash in, this is kind of my payment, isn't it? As well. And I like giving stuff back for free when I can afford to do that. So if you do want to buy this course, support me, and you like my way of teaching, then there's a link just down there, just below the video. So you can click on that link, and it's only 50% off now for a couple of more hours. So it's your last chance to get my course until it doubles in price. So get it now while you've got a chance, and that will support me as well. So I will tell you a bit more about the course later on, but let's dive into a game of chess. And the game I'm going to show you now is a really beautiful game. And I'm just going to show you lots of beautiful games and beautiful ideas today. That's kind of the theme of today. Have some fun, show you some beauty. Chess is an art form, and it should be treated as such. And when I look at games that I prepare, obviously it takes me a while to prepare the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not going to do openings today because I want to show you some beautiful games, beautiful moments from games. And I want to show you why chess is an art form to me. Rather than, and I've said this loads of times in the past, rather than go to an art gallery, which is a lot of people's favorite thing to do, and look at a great piece of art, I'd rather look at art on the chessboard. Rather than going to a concert, I'd rather listen to the beauty of chess, which, you can kind of get that feeling of the beauty looking at an amazing game. And I want to, in this hour, just share some of that with you now, really. So just share the sort of art that is chess and try to show you my love of chess as well. Okay, so the first game I've got planned is a game played by Jesus. Wow, that was so. Well, his name is actually Jesus, and I think that's quite an appropriate one to start with. And it was a game with a really beautiful finish, played in 1986. and it was in one of my favorite openings. And you can see the name of the players here as well. I know that's not really how you pronounce Jesus in, you know, the Spanish way, even though I don't speak any Spanish, I'm afraid. But let's have a look at this game and just sit back and enjoy it. So we're going to do this one from the start, and I'll jump into some puzzles further on down the line later on. So it started with, I've put some comments here as well. By the way, White is a professor of physics from Madrid, as you can see here, and he certainly creates something beautiful in this game. So I've got some comments, as you can see, you can look at during the game as well. So it started with e4, and now the King's Gambit is after e5, f4. And this is an old romantic gambit. Now, nowadays at top level, this is not so easy to play because you know, things are much more deeply prepared, but you can still play this at most levels, just, you know, maybe not at the world's elite, and it's a really fun opening to play. I mean, I think if you want to be a chess player, you have to play the King's Gambit at least once in your life, because, you know, this is you know, you got it's just the most romantic of all openings. So Black decided to capture on f4 in this position, so he played pawn takes. Now, a move which I think, if you're black in this position, and hopefully you can hear me. Make sure, I just want to confirm, can you hear me? You can hear me? I guess you can hear me. I hope I haven't muted it. If you could just confirm in the chat that you can actually hear me, that'd be good. Maybe you don't want to hear me, but tough luck. Well, if you can't hear me, you probably wouldn't actually know that I'm saying this, would you? So you wouldn't type anything. Oh, this is a bit of a conundrum. Okay, Kim Brown's saying yes, good. I was just thinking, if you can't hear me, then how would you know? Say, can you hear me? Oh my words, I'm a chess grandmaster and I say stupid things like that. That's all quite funny. Okay, but if you have this position as black and you're looking for a good, simple way to play, then d5 here is a good counter blow in the center. And this is what I would play as black if I faced the King's Gambit, unless I was in really fighting move and I wanted an interesting game. And then pawn takes f4 would be played. Blazero, you are correct about Spassky. Spassky loved the King's Gambit. Spassky, ex-world champion, who you must all know because he had the most famous of world championship matches when he played for the title against Bobby Fischer. And that was in Iceland in 1972. And that was, you know, in the height of the Cold War, the East versus the West. And it was a really big, interesting match. And Spassky won every game he played in the King's Gambit. Now, in this position, what did White play? Well, there's two main moves. One is bishop f4 and one is knight to f3. And here, knight to f3, which is the traditional King's Gambit, was played. Bobby Fischer actually said about this move that it was refuted by Black's next move, g5. And in this position, things already get very exciting because Black is just aiming to use his pawns to attack White, but Black's king is a little bit weak because he's moved his pawns forwards. Black is a little bit behind in development, so it's already getting very interesting as early as move 4. Now here, I think White played the best move, knight to c3. I think this is the best move, and I've studied this opening a bit with an idea of going to basically d5 later on. And this now leads to a very interesting exchange after g4. Black continues with his plan to try and dislocate this knight. Now, if you were born, you know, if these players were born about 400 years ago, the way they used to play the King's Gambit, they used to play a move like bishop to c4 and say, I want to be a proper romantic, have my piece, I don't care. And then after pawn takes here, they'd go queen takes, and they'd say, I don't care about pieces, I'm going to checkmate you. And that's what they used to do. But it's harder to get away with this stuff now. So knight to e5 is the main move, trying to come in here and coming here. But this also looks like an error because now Black has a nasty check, which he does play. Queen h4 check. And you don't really want to move your king here. So g3 is the main move. And again, this looks really silly because now black can take another pawn. Absolute chaos on the board already. And after this move, well, it looks like white is possibly in a lot of trouble. But he now has the move queen takes g4. And okay, it's a little bit disappointing after this move that you might have to go into an ending. But the ending, well, not really an ending, that the queens are exchanged off, but it's still very, very interesting position. But what is a very tempting move for black here? Imagine you were black here. Imagine you're black in this position. You can exchange queens, but you've also, there's another move here, which I think a lot of players would be tempted. And Prito was very tempted in this position. So let's have some of your suggestions. Imagine you're black. Imagine you're black here. What would you play as black? Queen takes queen is okay, but what other moves do you have? Do you have a more aggressive move as black? I think it's actually not a very good move. Oh, well done, Sleeman, and well done, Marco, and well done, August. It's coming up to August as well, isn't it, August? So you're timing your name very well. And G2, look how crazy this gets. I mean, I love this position already. I mean, how can you not love this position after G2 check? What is going on? You're leaving your queen on pre, but you're going to take a rook and get another queen. Wow. Okay, Cola Gall is saying, Simon, I brought your course. It's really good. Well, thank you for buying the course. You can always come up to me and say hello at a tournament. Unless I've lost, then I'm probably best to stay away from. But yeah, thank you for buying the course. And thank you for saying it's good. I mean, it's been really good feedback. That's why they extended this 50% off. But it really is the last day that iChess are running the discount now. So you can now, if you want to get my big 60 now course, click on the link below, and that will give you your last chance of getting it at half price. Okay, we're back to this crazy game. And the thing is, even though now black wins material, Chris is saying hello back, or welcome back from Iceland. I thought you were from Iceland. Hopefully I'll see you in Ireland, Cola Goal. I always go bum ratty if I can. I couldn't make it last year, unfortunately, for the first time in ages, but I will be back there. I will be back there at some point. Okay, so let's see what happens. So G2, well, we have to go queen takes h4, and now we have this really, really funny exchange. We have pawn takes rook, queen. Oh my words, look at that. And white is a rook down, but now white can start building up an attack. And if you remember some of my tips that I gave you on the last couple of days, I basically said, I'm just going to tell you one more time, just so I reinforce these things that you need to remember in order to become a better player. In my course, I give you lots of examples of this, but this is another one here. When you're attacking, even at an early stage like this, clearly you're attacking here, because you've got your pieces on a good squares and you're a rook down. You should look for checks, captures, and then threats, creating threats, getting your pieces into the game. So here, there's a couple of moves. If I was white here, I'd be thinking of two options. Do I have any good checks? No. So let me put you back on the board so you can see the board again. Do I have any checks? No, I don't. Do I have any captures? Not any good ones. Can I create any threats? Well, yes, I can. How about something like knight to d5? I mean, that would be one move I'd certainly consider, because with this move, knight to d5, this is threatening knight takes c7, check, mate. So that's one idea. And the move actually played was queen to h5. And this is another good move, because queen to h5 is threatening to take the pawn and then take the bishop, check, mate. To answer you, Robert Dugan, on what's in the course, well, there is a contents page on the course. I think there's a link to that down below, so you can see precisely what's in the course. Or you can just check out my Facebook page, GingerGM, and I've put a contents page up there. So it lists everything in the course. Okay, so now black has to defend that. So, well, he does it by giving his king an escape square. He develops his bishop. Now his king can run away. And here white checks, so he brings his queen in. But remember, white is a rook down. King D8. Oh, thank you, Calvin, for saying it's a fantastic course. That's really kind. I mean, it's always nice to get good feedback. I mean, I put a lot of effort into making the course, so I'm quite proud of it, and I hope you all enjoy it as well. And like I said, last chance today to get it at cheaper price. So now, what should white do? Well, again, in a position like this, you've got to think, do I have any good checks? No, there's no good checks here because the bishop covers everything. Okay, so what was the next thing you do? Well, then you think, do I have any captures? Not really. There's nothing you can catch here. So then you've got to look at ways to create threats. But more importantly, in a position like this, you've got to look at ways to bring in pieces, your troops. The pieces are your troops, which aren't doing anything. So Haytham is saying queen to g7 here. Now, that's not a bad move, but that's going a little bit against the principle of bringing in or trying to bring in your pieces, which I've highlighted here, that are not doing anything. And I think a better move is d4, because now I'm trying to bring in one of my troops, which is sleeping. Wake up, you lazy bishop. Wake up, you lazy bishop. Boom! Get in the game, you lazy bishop. That's what I'm trying to do here. And after this move, d4, I'm threatening this big check here. And I'm bringing in a piece with the attack. Black tried knight e7, blocking the check, but the bishop flew in anyway. And now black tried to develop, so he played knight on b to c6. I'm just wondering what else he can do. Well, let's have a look at the game because it's quite fascinating. He played knight b c6, so he's just trying to defend his point here. And now, again, we need to say, do we have any checks? Do we have any captures? If not, how can we increase the pressure and bring in some pieces? Well, we could castle here, which is not a bad idea, trying to bring the rook in. But I like the next move. Boom! Look at those knights. Another knight comes into the position. Two big knights in the center. And now, well, as Joe's Leon is saying, there is a threat. We're creating a threat. Because knight e7, well, one very good tactic. And this is one of the first things my dad taught me, actually. My dad taught me chess. And, you know, when you're trying to work out whether you can capture a piece and win points, if you're not at the stage in your chess development where you can't calculate, if I go there, he goes there, and you know, vision improves over time. If you can't do that, just count how many pieces do you have attacking that piece and how many pieces does your opponent have defending that piece. If you have more attacking it, you can win it. If you have the same amount, you can't win it. Very simple bit of advice there. And in this position, we have, well, before the knight goes to d5, let's just see that in action. Well, we have 1, 2 pieces attacking that one, but let's think, we can go knight takes c6. So we can get rid of one defender, the knight on c6, but then still black has the king defending and the bishop defending. So it's 2 versus 2. So how do we increase the pressure? Chess is a very logical game after all. Well, here we go. We can go knight d5, boom. And here we're now threatening to go knight takes knight and then take here. So what did black do? Well, black thought, I'm going to take a pawn with check. So he went queen takes e4 check. Okay, but when you play the king's gambit, you have to be a brave player, and you have to allow these things to happen. So we now block the check. We play bishop e2. The queen came back to h1. Worth pointing out that queen takes d5 is not a good move because the knight there is pinned. We just go queen takes queen. We win a queen. Oh, Collar is saying it looks like checkmate in 17 moves. How did you know that, Collar? Are you some kind of magician? So instead of that, black played queen to h1 check and thought, right, well, you know what? I'm going to take another rook. King d2, queen takes a1. So he's 2 rooks up. But it's white to play in checkmate. Who is going to be the first person to solve this? The challenge is in your hands. Who is the first person to solve this? Who's the first person? White to play and force checkmate. Now, there's two ways of doing this. One is much prettier and artistic. And remember what I said at the start of this, I want to show you some art. I want to show you some games, some chess moves that for me have been artistic and that have where I've just been in awe. I've seen these moves and I've gone, wow, such a brilliant move. You know, that is something that, okay, so a lot of you are going for one move here, which is winning, I agree. And that is knight takes c6. Let's have a look at that first. That, by the way, knight takes c6 is on our list because it's a check and a capture. So it should be a first move we're looking at. So let's have a look at that first. But then we're going to see there's actually a much more amazingly beautiful move. And I think, Soren, congratulations, you have found it. But let's have a look. Well, knight takes c6, check. Does force checkmate because it's check. Black has to take this with one of his pawns. Let's say he takes with this pawn. Now we can go bishop takes e7, check, and it's checkmate next move. Bishop takes bishop. We have what I call the kiss of death. Queen takes there, checkmate. And if king d7, we have knight to f6, checkmate. There is actually one more checkmate here. Can anyone else see the other checkmate here? Who's going to be the first person to see the other checkmate here? There's another checkmate in one move. Anyone else see it? Anyone else see the other checkmate? Anyone? Anyone see it? Who's going to see it first? Anyone? Where's the other checkmate? White to play, checkmate in one move. Where is the checkmate? Where is it? Well done, Marco. Marco just got the typing in there first. Bishop g4, checkmate. So that is one way to win. But as I said at the start of this lesson, chess is also about beauty. Now, that is a nice way to win, a fantastic game. But look at what White did instead. And this just shows you that there is art in chess. Instead, White played queen to e8 check. What a fantastic, beautiful move. Absolutely stunning. Because here, well, you put your queen in check and it can be taken by two different pieces. But both lead to checkmate. If rook takes queen, White doesn't have any heavy pieces left, but he can play knight to f7, smothered mate. And if black goes king takes queen, look at how well these three highlighted pieces work. We look for the checks. Knight to f6, check. And now wherever the king goes, it's checkmate next move. If king to d8, we have this lovely knight magic, checkmate, knight to f7. And if king to f8, we have bishop h6, checkmate. And that's the kind of position which I personally call a tombstone checkmate because, you know, we all die. It's one of those things to do with life, unfortunately. And I like that. Great comment from David. It was Jesus playing after all. Brilliant comment, David. It could well have been Jesus back from the dead there and punching. I mean, look at that. But this is the kind of checkmate which, you know, if I die and I get a tombstone made, I mean, look at that. That's worth just savoring for a moment. But if I did, you know, die and get a tombstone made, then I might want to put that final position as a picture on my tombstone so people can come and spit in my grave. Well, I'd rather they didn't, but, you know, whatever, and look at that position and enjoy it. So there you go. So that's the first sort of beautiful game I wanted to show you, which I really enjoyed when I saw it. And we'll move on to another one now. And again, like I say, I'm going to keep mentioning it's your last chance now to buy the course. If you like my way of teaching, I've done this 16-hour course, which, like I said yesterday in the webinar, it took me ages to do. I basically, every hour, probably 20 hours work. You can buy it only today from iChess, last opportunity at half price. Then it doubles in price. You miss the opportunity. So this is your last chance. Oh, did I not say boom in the final position? Oh, my words. Let me have it. If I did not say boom, that is terrible. Sorry. Forget about the sales patter. Let me just go back there. That was okay. Let me do that again. And if there's no one around you, I want to hear you say it. You ready? Boom, bishop h6. Boom, there we go. Okay, I had to do that. Sorry, I had to get my boom in. But this is your last opportunity to get the course at a very good price. And you've got a money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you get the money back. But I'm sure you will. And there's been very good things said about it already, which I'm obviously happy about because it's the biggest thing I've ever done. This course, it took me ages to do. And, you know, in order for me to do these webinars for free, I don't get paid to do this. Well, I'm hoping you buy a course, obviously, but, you know, that's the trade-off, isn't it? You know, buy the course and, you know, then I can do loads more free stuff, basically. So thank you for tuning in, as always. Right, let's go into another one then. Okay, so I'm going to get to another position. And I've got a couple lined up. But let's now do a little puzzle, shall we, boys and girls? So let's now do a little puzzle. And I'm going to bring up Alaka. No, don't do that. It should be on training. I hope you did not see the answer. Oh, my words. If you did. Someone's saying, Mysterious Labyrinth, how about booing? What's wrong with booing? Booing? You can boo if you want. You can boo me all day long if you want, Mysterious Labyrinth, which I recognize the name there. Maybe you've joined in the stream before, but hello, Mysterious Labyrinth. Thank you for joining. Well, we're going to have a look at that Alakine game now. And, oh, you didn't see it because it's on my face. There you go. Good. Well, I was setting up a puzzle, so it's best on my face. So the question I'm going to ask you, and basically everything I'm showing you now is what I call a tombstone move, a move you'd be proud to put on your tombstone. And also, what is it? It's also a boom move. White to play and win. This is Alexander Alakine, one of the greatest chess players of all time. Let's throw some puzzles at you. Who's going to be first to solve this? The position is coming up. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Boom. Okay, there we go. Right. Someone, anonymous no name, is saying, is this course for intermediate or beginners? I would say, anonymous no name, that this course is basically trying to bridge the gap between everything. It's really a course that I've done to try and bridge the gap between so many different levels. You know, I've tried to make it good for beginners, but also good for higher rated players. You know, I've tried to put my everything I can into it. Well, I have to say, Seren, Elyar, Eric Van, probably said that wrong. You're on fire. Maybe you've seen this one before. I apologize if you've seen it before. Marco, well, I mean, first of all, have a look at this position. I mean, Black must have had a heavy night here because none of his pieces have got out of bed. They're all asleep. Little sleep. Look at them. They're all asleep. Then they don't want to join in the game. They are sleeping. Oh. Blair Connell, hello, my good friend Blair. I can't believe you've joined into this. Blair Connell is a very good friend of mine. I did a stream with him the other day from my house. Those of you who are lucky enough to see it might have seen it, but I'm not going to put it up because we both had a little bit to drink. And Blair let me know that a very important thing. This is the last. You know, he was going to buy the course now. He was going to buy it today because they might run out of copies of the course very soon. They might run out of electrical copies. There's probably only 5 left. So you've got to get it before they run out of their electrical copies. No, of course, it's electric. So there's unlimited copies. I was just trying to, you know, I put a little bit of more sales patter on there. You got to, you know, I'm actually, you know, I'm trying to be a salesman as well. Okay, well, the move here, which is a fantastic move. You haven't got a check here for white that's really brilliant, but you can create a threat. Well, actually, hang on a minute. Oh no, I got the position wrong. My mistake. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to try again. There's 2 more moves in the position. As 2 more moves, yeah, it's white to play here. And actually, a lot of people's suggestions were wrong here because if you were suggesting something like queen to g6, does that work? Well, it doesn't actually threaten anything. It's maybe the right idea, but can I just go maybe queen takes knight here and maybe defend like that? Okay, it's an idea, but there's a better move. Let's just get more pieces into the attack if they can. And the move played here, my apologies, is knight. The actual game went knight to f5 first. That's a normal move. You're bringing another piece into the attack. And after bishop to a6, now the most amazing move. So it's basically white to play and win. I've just seen that my comments really give it away. That's quite funny. My comments there give away the move, but hey ho, we're not always perfect, are we? Just sit back and enjoy it anyway. Now, I do also stream on Twitch, by the way. This is the last one I'm doing here because I'm just trying to promote my course and give a free lesson at the same time. But the move now is queen to g6 now, offering the queen to 2 pawns. And I think someone pointed out very nicely, this is a version of an Anastasia checkmate. A stupid name for a nice checkmate. I don't know where that name comes from, but are we going to say it? Are we going to say it? Boom! There we go. And what a move. I mean, this is a tombstone move. You put your queen on prey to 2 pawns. And the point is, you're trying to open up the black king in some way, and you're also threatening checkmate. So let's have a look at all of black's options one by one. So what if he takes with the h-pawn? What is the checkmate here? White to playing checkmate, get the boom in. And Shigorin, another person, saying it's a great course. I'm very happy you say it's a great course. Thank you for buying it, Shigorin. And like I mentioned, it's the last day today. That is definite, that you can buy the course. As Blair said, the electronic form, the download is going to be out of shape soon. You've got to get it now. And it is the last day. You can get it for half price. Then you have to pay full price. You feel gutted, and it's your own fault. Okay, well, of course, you bring the rook in, rook to h3, checkmate. Thank you for everyone who brought the course. Thank you to F. Burton. Very cool. And well done to everyone who got the thing there. And this is the so-called Anastasia checkmate, where you checkmate on the h-file, and the knight here plays a pivotal role there. Thank you, Matteo, who's brought the course. Thank you to everyone who's brought the course. It means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. Okay, and what other moves does black have here? Well, if he takes with the f-pawn, it is now white to play and win. How does white checkmate if he takes with the other pawn? Of course, before playing this queen g6 move, you would have to calculate every possibility, because you'd look like a blooming fool if you put your queen on pre to put 2 pawns and your opponent took the queen and then you thought, oh, my tactic doesn't work now. Wah, wah, wah. That's not a boom. That's more like a wah, wah, wah. Okay, anyway, okay, why are men in my shoes are saying, is this the shower of golden coins games? I'm glad you didn't say the golden shower game. I don't know what that is. I think you mean the golden coin shower game. It's not this one, but it's a similar technique. It's a similar technique. And here, knight takes g6, check, leads to a checkmate, because now the bishop is stopping the king from going. And look at this. We go rook h3, we go boom, and it is checkmate very soon. There's one little dying move there, but we can whip that queen off and it's checkmate. So it's a bit like the golden shower game, or should I say the golden coin shower game. Golden shower is probably a different game, a game I think Blair once played. Okay, so what I say in my course is basically the way I try to teach in my course, and this is so important to me, is that the best way to learn in chess is not necessarily from reading books. Books are not good for some people. Look, I'm not saying my course is good, the best way for everyone. That would be a lie. Some people do enjoy books and they learn better from books as a media kind of thing to absorb information. Other people prefer, videos, as my course is doing. And that's what the way I became a grandmaster was, by watching videos, because I could sit back, I could even lay in bed, put a chess video on, I wouldn't have to do anything, and I would improve. And one thing I really picked up from watching videos was basically I really learned that understanding patterns is very important. That's something I really talk about in my course. Remember, you can buy it below on the link, but it's really important. And this is something I'm going to show you now in a couple of puzzles I have here. Chess Blades is saying, do I meditate? Chess Blades, my meditation is down the pub. That's what I do for my meditation. I have, you know, my release is sitting in a nice pub garden in the middle of nowhere, enjoying a very quiet beer once I've done all my work after a hard day's week. But I'd love to get into meditation. In actual fact, I'd love to get into meditation. I mean, it's something I really should seriously consider. Okay, right. Now the next puzzle. Let's have a look at the next puzzle. And when I was talking about patterns, you will see what I mean. And you will see that one thing in chess, if you try to really see, this is something I talked about yesterday. If you remember beautiful ideas and you can try to put them into motion, you will become a better player without a shadow of doubt. And just to prove that, here is a game now. And this is a game where basically White had a good position. It's played in 1967, and it's played. Okay, well, you probably saw the answer there, but that's not so important because we can look through it. It was played in 1967, but it had a very similar pattern to the Alekhine game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the player of the white pieces had seen that Alekhine game and remember basically that pattern and was able to use it in this game. So what did White do here? And what we're doing, by the way, if you just tuned in, I'm giving you puzzles to solve. I'm trying to test your tactical ability, but I'm picking puzzles that have a similarity so you can basically, you know, try to learn something from these puzzles. So is White to play? How did White build up an attack here? Well, not White to play, sorry, Black played knight e6 first, because otherwise we'd have just taken the knight, which was on pre. And after knight to e6, we now, White started an attack. He played, well, first of all, he got rid of a key defender. Now, when you're attacking, you have to look at your opponent's key defenders and aim to eliminate them. Which pieces of White's are very important? Well, the queen here. The queen here is a key attacking piece. So are the knights. So is the rook. But your bishop is not really doing much. So White just took the knight, and now he went knight to f6 check. So he's bringing in his pieces. His knights are creating a bit of magic. And after king to h8 here, well, in the spirit of the golden coin game, which is really, I found, you know, examples of that. The next puzzle is going to be a lot harder, by the way. What did White play now? And remember, even if you think you know the move, please try to back it up yourself with your own calculation. So do your own calculation here. Try to work out what is the move. Remember, try to create a threat. Try to create the most deadly threat you can see. And it's White to move here. By the way, Black moved the knight back because it was attacked and White would have taken it otherwise. That's why he moved the knight back. Now, what was the theme, the puzzle in the last game? Can you remember the killer move in the last game? It looks like money boom, Seren. Not everyone's as good as you. Come on, you've got to give other people a chance. And I'm just showing you these beautiful ideas. It is indeed queen g6 yet again. And this is another example of a tombstone checkmate. You leave your queen on pre to 2 pawns, and there's nothing that Black can do. You're threatening in this position as White, checkmate on h7. And if pawn takes here, like before, this rook, I call it the rook swinger, is the most important piece. This now swings over, checkmate. And what if f takes g6? How does White win here? Okay, well, I've got a more tricky one for coming up after this. And how does White win in this position? It's the same idea, this kind of tombstone checkmate. White to play and win here. So what does White do now? What does White play in this position? It is indeed knight takes g6 check. And it's all about the rook coming over here. Okay, well, I'm glad Bent Larson is saying the course is for, I think the course really is for a wide range of ELO. You know, you don't have to be low rated or high rated. You should learn something, whatever your ELO. And now, after pawn takes g6, boom, That was a more restrained. Boom. The rook comes over and gives this checkmate, the same pattern that we've seen before. Okay, now I've got one more example like this. So, I'm sorry if, these ones are a bit too easy for you. That does occasionally happen. But I really enjoy these. For me, I find them incredibly beautiful. So, I'm sharing what I find beautiful with you. Not everyone's going to find it as beautiful as me, because different beauty attracts different people, but surely some of you must be able to see how picturesque these are. And the last one I'm going to set up was played in 1901, and it was quite an amazing idea. But again, it has the same theme. So again, it's really learning about patterns and using these patterns in your own game. So again, we're going to show you the build up and see if you can solve this pattern. So I'm going from an earlier position, and in this position here, white has quite a good position, but it's still early days because there's not too much going on. White has a good knight, a queen attacking h7, and possibly a rook coming to h7. But black's position is not so bad here. Black at the moment has this knight blocking the rook. Black is threatening the rook with the bishop, and black's position looks pretty solid. So the game now continued. Well, it's black's move, otherwise, white's move. Otherwise, black would go bishop takes rook here. And in the game, well, it did continue g4. So white brings another pawn into attack. White is obviously playing very aggressively. And now black decided to go knight g6 because he wanted to try and swap this off at the right time. He can't do it now because he'd run into checkmate. White played a very intriguing move, rook h5, which is aiming. Every time, this is the key to, will help you learn. And this is really important. Imagine you're black here. Your opponent's just done a move. Every move that your opponent plays, ask yourself, what is the point of that move? And some of the most important things that I can tell you is the whys in chess. Every move your opponent and you does should have a why behind it. Why? Why did my opponent play that move? What is my opponent trying to do? And where is he trying to go? So as long as you remember the whys and really start thinking in why terms, then you will really, I think, not fail to improve and understand the position better. So in after rook to here, white is trying to play rook queen h3 and rook takes h7. That's the idea that white has behind this move. So black decides he's got to try to exchange some pieces. He goes knight to c6. And now we see an absolutely phenomenal idea. Now, maybe queen to h3 was okay, but not actually. Well, there's a problem with queen to h3. Why doesn't queen to h3 work here? This is actually not maybe a very good move here, because we've always got to think about our opponent's most aggressive and attacking ideas here. And what is black going to try to do here? I mean, I see people saying, how much time do I do chess? I don't do so much anymore, but I did do a lot when I was young. And the reason, one of the reasons I really improved was, it took me a long time, but I know what you should work on in chess. One of the main problems I think lots of you guys might have, and lots of people generally have, is they study the wrong thing in chess. If you start studying things which are irrelevant, like if you get a book, it might be completely useless. It might not help you at all because you're studying the wrong opening. You're studying the wrong thing. You're wasting hours of your life. And one of the reasons I spent less time than other people to become a GM is because I think I studied the right things. And in the course, which you can, again, I'll say it a couple more times, you can buy cheaper now from the link below, really teaches you is how to learn without, it teaches you how to learn in the correct manner. Anyway, back to the game. So, well, if we go back to the game, after queen to h3, I think black can just play knight takes f4. I don't see that. So what is the right way to study? Well, hopefully I talk about that in the course, Leon. So if you get the course, you will hopefully know that was the idea of me making the course. It was a study in the correct way, in the most efficient time period that you guys have. Okay, well, knight takes f4, and this looks like an annoying move. So white instead came up with a fantastic concept. White played knight to c4. Now, this is for those of you a bit of a higher level, because this is a trickier question. What happened after d takes c4? Because white has seemingly just given up a piece on c4 for nothing. White has given up a piece on c4 for nothing, but he had a particular idea in mind. Again, people are saying, what's the best way to learn? Well, the best way to learn is you have to do a combination of things. I always think tactics are very good and learning patterns, but picking the right openings, knowing the right plan in the middle game. I talk about all these things, and even really, you know, getting everything you can from, you know, just really having, I would say, like a story. Chess is a story and it plays out, but you should be in control of that story. If you play a game of chess and you're not really sure and it's out of your control, you're doing something wrong. Chess should be a story that you control. In this course, I try to tell you how to get from the opening to the middle game to the ending in a very orderly story-like fashion, which you control. Simon, how do I remove something from my cart? I guess you have. I guess you have now decided to remove my product from the cart. That is the biggest mistake of your life. Okay, well, a lot of people are telling me one move. Blair and Aldo's here. Hello, Aldo. Aldo, I have to say, I've got to do your video for your club tomorrow. I've totally forgotten, but I did make it down the library today, Aldo, and I did do some printing. It's been a blooming long day, but I've got a spare day tomorrow, so I'll get the video for the club done on my YouTube channel. I can't believe Blair's here as well. Legendary people in the chat, two friends of mine. Okay, well, what is the idea? What is the idea? You can go queen h3 now because f4 is defended, but there's a better move. Lots of people, by the way, the reason I haven't continued, lots of people are telling me the right initial move, but what I want you to type in the chat as much as you can, all the way to checkmate. And the right move here is queen takes g6. And again, can you see the patterns? Can you see the themes? They all of these have the same ideas. They all have the same ideas. And they all involve this knight and the rook on the h file. So you can see how patterns do link together. Steve Reed is saying, enjoy hearing Her Majesty's English. Well, I don't know why you're tuned into my show then, Steve, because I'm sure there's better people to speak the Queen's language than little old me. But okay, well, thank you. That's a very kind comment anyway. I'm only joking. Okay, well, the point is here. If f takes, this is quite easy. Now that we've moved the pawn from d5, we have this. Bishop takes c4, check, and it's checkmate very, very soon. If king here, we can see what a checkmate is. It's actually knight takes g6, checkmate, because the pawn on h7 is pinned. And if the king goes to f8, where's the checkmate now? Okay, money bomb has got it. Knight takes g6, check. And now there's only one move. Pawn takes, and now boom, rook to h8, checkmate. There you go. That's a massive boom there. Again. And what happens then if this pawn takes on g6? What would everyone play here? So let's imagine that pawn takes on g6. Well, how would you play now? So how would you play now? What is white's best move here? Because you've given up a whole queen. If it doesn't work, you're going to look like a fool. And trust me, I look like a fool at least once a week. Generally quite a lot more than once a week. So what is the move here? Okay, and the move, and it is an amazing move, and the reason I like this move is because it's a slow move. The move to play is knight takes g6, and even though this is not a check, white is threatening rook to this square checkmate, and there's no way that black can stop this. It's quite unbelievable. There's no way you can stop the rook coming here. I mean, if you go pawn takes knight, the reason white came up with this fantastic knight to c4 move was he can now play bishop to c4 check. And, you know, it doesn't help if black blocks it. White will take everything in the way. And after king f8, boom, happens again. And this is just a very, I think, beautiful idea from A. Fox. This knight c4 move here is such a beautiful concept. It really, I think it's just an amazing idea. Let's look at that again. The idea is this pattern that we've seen. The queen comes in and we give a checkmate in the same way that we've seen many times before. Okay, right. Now, I'm going to show you something amusing now. Another amusing puzzle. I'm sticking with the puzzles today. You know, I looked at some games the other day. This is the last kind of relaxing webinar I'm going to do for a while because I've got a lot of chess coming up myself. But this last puzzle is, well, it's kind of a puzzle, but it is fun. And it's, I think this has only happened, you know, in 10 or 15 games ever. Thank you for tuning in, Steve Reed. Yeah, okay, good. Hopefully see you again sometime. Okay, so let's get up the position. Okay, you got it on me, so you can't see. Jolly good. And well, you probably don't want to see me anyway. And we're just going to pick this up. This is actually from Dortmund Open in 1993, so it's quite a recent one. And this is just fun. I really enjoyed this when I saw it. So again, let's see if I can get that enjoyment across to you guys as well. And I'm going to ask you a move in a minute. See if you can find the right move. So it looks quite boring picking it up here. Thank you as well, Leon. Glad you joined in as well. And that is yeah, good. And we've only got, this will probably be this and one more puzzle will be the last one, and we're finishing this one. And good stuff. And okay, what is this position? It looks quite boring because it's an end game. But you have to be good at every area of the game to excel at chess. White is clearly doing all right because his pieces are much more active and his king is coming in at the right time. So how did the game continue? Well, white played bishop e8 first and then a3. White having some ideas of using his pawn majority. Now, this is a really good idea in chess. When you're in an ending, look on the area of the board where you have most pawns. It's a very simple bit of advice. White has a pawn majority on the queen side. What I mean by majority, 3 pawns versus 2 pawns. So what you need to do is use your 3 pawns to try to create a passed pawn. So eventually white wants to go b4, b5, c4, c6, and he wants to create a passed c pawn. This is his long-term idea. But also, as Smita has said, black's pieces are very, very bad and black's very cramped. So the game continued, b6, and now bishop d5. This is just a very good square for the bishop because it potentially stops the black rook ever coming here. Maybe, you know, for example, after white plays b4, black might want to take on b4 and go rook a8. Can't do it now. Now b5 played. Okay, well, this kind of helps white because white gets his passed pawn. And now b4. White keeps the lines closed here because he doesn't want to open up lines so black can get counterplay. A very important thing to do in chess, a very important thing to do in chess when you're in control of the game. You've got to stop your opponent getting counterplay. So, yes, of course, white is winning here, but just watch how it goes. It's very funny. Rook to c8 played. And, you know, whoever says there's no sense of humor in chess, well, look what happens here. And now, well, I think it's time to push Cedric the c-pawn. Say hello to Cedric the c-pawn. It goes c6, rook d8, and now c7. And now black thinks, oh no, I've got to keep an eye on Cedric because Cedric wants to become Cedrina and become a queen, a princess. So the rook goes back to c8, and now, well, it looks winning. Rook d8. And black planned this all along. Rook takes d8. Now, obviously, what does white play here? 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 And this is why I find this quite a funny little position. It is an easy one. You want to take and make a rook? You want to make a rook there? You sure you want to make a rook? What do you want? What do you want to do here? And black thought he was getting stalemate. You want to get a knight? Oh, that's more like it. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Bishop. Nice. And this is one of the only cases I've ever seen myself from a live game, from a real live game, where you take here. Oh, my words, that's not right. I probably got it on auto promote. No. Well, I'm just demonstrating that is stalemate there. Oh my words, that's embarrassing. I hope I haven't got it on auto promote. That's actually stalemate. If you take with a queen, it's stalemate, so you get a draw. But what you should do, it's all right, I've got it prepared. You should get a bishop. And the reason you get a bishop here, this is actually, this is Blazero. I have to say, if I actually played this in a game, I know I shouldn't, but I don't think, Blazero, I'd be able to stop myself from going, boom! I'd have to do that. British Championships, last round, boom! It would have to come. And the threat is now bishop to f6, checkmate. What is black's best defensive try here? Okay, Seren is saying it. Yeah, well done, Seren. You're obviously a very good player, Seren. And Gary Fang, black can try bishop to f7. And again, a little bit tricky. But there's an easy way to win here. Just don't be greedy and take the bishop. What is the simplest way to win this one? Well, I'll show you because we're running out of time. I think I would just go check first, because if I go check, I avoid any stalemate. I force the king out to the stalemate position, and when it moves, I now take the bishop off with check, and then I just come and try to take the pawns over here. So I go here, I munch the pawns, I get 2 more bishops. Oh, that'd be so funny to get 2 more bishops, wouldn't it? So that is the way to win that one. Okay, well, I have to say, I think we've actually run out of time pretty much now. I will save the future puzzles that I have. I think that's a good one to end on, to be fair. I don't think I'm going to find a funnier example of that to end on anyway, because that was a funny little is that someone actually called Anastasia? Are we just looking at the Anastasia checkmate and Anastasia turns up? Am I reading that right? Okay, but anyway, look, I would like to just finish this. Last time I'm going to say it, and this is the last time I'm pushing this course here. I've done this 16-hour course, which is probably my lifetime's biggest thing I've done for, hopefully I'll do bigger and better lifetime things in the future. But, if you want to support me and you want to learn, then you can only for today. This is the last day of the sale that iChess are doing. We'll try to do one at GingerGM, but I don't know if we'll be able to. Might not be able to. But iChess, we've only got about 4 hours left, where if you click on the link below, and it's just below the video, it's actually where it says 50% off, funnily enough, you can get the course for 50% off until tomorrow, where it goes up to full price. And it's 16 hours of me teaching in a way which I really think will help everyone improve their chess. If you don't like it, it's a money back guarantee. It's a download. You can get the physical discs as well, and I'm sure it will help your chess. And please do that. It will help me as well, support me to do more free stuff. Now, I often, if you don't know, I often stream on Twitch. I prefer doing it there. I'm a bit more used to the setup, and I can pull in some weird graphics. When is my next stream? Blazero, I see, is one person asking. I don't have anything in the diary at the moment, Blazero, because on Thursday I'm going up to Dundee to play chess, and I've got to make some videos tomorrow. So it might not be until next month, I'm afraid. So this is the last live thing I'm doing, but I will be doing more stuff. You can check out, of course, my YouTube channel. There's loads of stuff there, which is all free. And if you want to see the contents of this course, well, it should be, I don't know where it is actually. It's on my Facebook page. I can tell you now if I can remember it. Oh God, this is a bit of a test of the memory. Maybe I can't remember it. It's got lots of good stuff in there. Basically, what I try to do is tell you a story throughout the course. So I try to teach you in a fun way. So I start off with what you should be doing in the opening, but not necessarily just the moves, but what openings suit you. And then I go into what you should be doing going into the middle game, how you look at exchanging pieces, very important. How do you get better at tactics? How do you get better at positional chess? How do you improve at everything? Where should you go? Where should you go? And loads of stuff there, endings. So it's got everything I think that you will need. Anyway, yeah, so the tournaments I'm playing in, if you're interested, I've got Dundee, 150-year anniversary of the Dundee Chess Club, really GM all-play-all tournament. Then I've got basically also a British Championships, so which is going to be blooming tough, blooming tough. But you never know. Every dog has to have their day one day. I've just realised yesterday. You know, nowadays when you're playing chess tournaments, it's so important to have a mobile computer, what they called laptop. Hello, Simon. Hello, I'm so stupid. I'm losing it. I'm doing too much chess. My mouth is going. So, okay, so a laptop, that's what they're called. And I realized yesterday I don't actually have a laptop that works. So preparation at these tournaments, I hope none of my opponents are watching, preparation at these tournaments is going to be a little bit tricky, shall we say. But I'll maybe try to hook myself up with something. I think I've got some ideas, which I've got an old laptop. I'll try to get it. I'll do it, you know, the wrist option, try to get it working by, you know, battery power or something like that. Okay. Yeah, you can check up, as Blair has said, 150 Chess Dundee. Blair, I think by the way, Blair, if you're interested, I might be hooking up for Gary for a quick beer tomorrow. Nothing crazy. No, because I think I've got the girlfriend back tomorrow, so I better be behaved. But yeah, if you fancy a quick beer, then I might be just doing a little 1 hour, 2 hour chill out, just one beer in the garden. Haven't had a drink since I last saw you, because you destroyed me, Blair, in a drinking way, I should say, just in case anyone gets any wrong ideas. And Aldo, it's good to see you joining into the stream as well. Really looking forward to what we're doing in the Crypt Gallery. If some of you who have supported me, from when I started streaming, so people like Aldo, people like Blazero who've been there from the start, I'm arranging, me and Aldo, actually, Aldo, who's in the chat here, arranging a special event, our first GingerGM meetup event ever in London in a crypt. It's a gallery crypt. We're going to have a chess tournament there. There's only invited people, about 50 people. You have to get an invite, so contact me. We'll get some flyers done for certain people, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have lots of GMs playing. It'll be a fun blitz tournament. You don't have to play chess if you don't want to. So you can just chill out. There'll be a little bar there as well, and it'll be awesome event with some cool music, bit of a party, but meet and greets and grandmasters. So I hope some people basically might be coming along. Matteo saying, do I have any French friends? Well, yeah, I mean, I lived in Paris for a little bit, maybe 3 months, and I'd say I'm quite good friends with Sebastian Mazet, MVL I'm good friends with, Laurent Fressinet. Yeah, a lot of the French guys are lovely people, so I'm very friendly with them in general. Okay, well, look, I'm wabbling on now. Thank you, John, for buying the course. And remember, this is your last chance to get the course now. It's below, it's a good price. It is a good price. And if you don't like it, just get your money back. But hopefully you won't do that, because that will destroy me. I'll be crying for a week afterwards. But last chance to get it at 50% off. Thank you all for tuning in. Will Fiona be there, Simon? I don't think oh yeah, Fiona will hopefully be there, Blazero. Oh, for the gig, definitely. I'm gonna actually give her a message now, Blazero, and tell Fiona to put the 18th of November in her diary. Otherwise I'll have to defriend her. If she's not there, I'm going to be I'll just never speak to her again. She'll be there. She will be there, Blazero. I know why you want to come now, Blazero. I know your game. It's not to see me, is it? It's not to see me, Blazero. No, it's not. I won't take that too insultingly. Thanks. Okay, well, look, cheers, everyone. Have a great night. It's time for me to go and chill out. Been a long day today. Love you all. Actually, I've got to do a bit more work already. I just realised I've got another hour or two of stuff to do with my website man, Simon Ansell, who does the GingerGM stuff. We're starting a new website. If you're interested, to know more about what I'm doing, the best way, I'm going to put it in the link now, is literally you go to this link here, gingergm.com, GingerGM. Some people call me a GM, others don't. And then at the top there, there's something called, it's basically another link to a new business we're starting, and you can join the newsletter. Join our newsletter. That's one good way of doing it. And just check out what I do. But look, I'm talking far too much rubbish. Time to chill out. Well said there. I'm getting the hell out of here. Okay, till next time. Have a great night. Thanks you all, and it's good to see some friends in here as well. I'll see you. I'll see you all. I'll see you all soon. Cheers for now. Bye.